Hello and welcome to busyworksbeats.com. Today, guys, I have a new gift for you. I'm uploading it right now and getting it officialized, so it goes out to you guys soon. It's the BusyWorks Beats Sampler 2. Now, we just did an update to where the UI loads way faster this time, and we're going to ask our AI assistant how many presets actually come with this plugin. So it comes with 50 starter sounds to get you started, but we've added so many effects and so many different parameters that we're going to ask it, okay, with all the parameters and sound libraries, let me move my head. With all the parameters, sound samples, and effects, what's the total amount of presets the randomizer can create with all possible combinations? So the randomizer, let me show you guys what this looks like. But before I even do that, here's our download manager, our new experience at busyworksbeats.com. All you got to do is download the download manager, click on the plugins tab, and you can find our BusyWorks Beats Sampler 2 free here. Now it comes with the factory library. Okay, so the sound packs, if you guys go to libraries, and download the factory library from here, it's 3 gigs of sounds. Okay, now we have paid libraries as well. But let me just show you guys. I just clicked randomize in the plugin and it came up with this crazy sound. And what it's doing is taking all of our sound samples and adding them to the synth layer. It's going into the effects, randomizing that. It's going to the main tab, randomizing that. So we get this unique sound. So let me play it for you guys. Just a crazy sound, and that was from me clicking random. So let's go back to ChatGPT and see what it says here. So right now it's just doing its complex calculations. We're gonna see the final number. Now last time I checked, it was 10 decillion. Okay, so it's gonna give me a scientific number like 10 to the something power. So we're gonna have to go to Google to find the exact name for that. All right, so it says in total, okay, this is a lot. Okay, so 10 to the, wait, I don't even know how to say this, guys. Let me pause the video so I can read this. All right, so I just read it slowly. It basically says 2.51 times 10 to the 31st is how many presets you can get. Look how many commas. Okay, this is the possibilities you guys can create in this plugin that you can download for free. Now include the pay library, and now this goes up to whoever knows, gazillion. Let me figure out what this number is actually called. All right, so Google gave me the official name, the official name for how many presets you guys can create. 25 nanillion. 25 nanillion, you guys. Okay, we're talking about beyond decillion. I don't even know where decillion is in this list. Octillion, septillion. We're on 25 nanillion. Okay, guys, that's how many combinations just for the free sounds. What I'm going to do is do a sound test for you guys. So I'm testing this plugin in general, and I hit this preset and I was like, I have to film this. All right, so what we're going to do is hit random. So I did all the sound design. I have analog gear behind me. We have a Yamaha DX7. We have a Prophet 6, Dave Smith Instruments Prophet 08, Moog Subsequent 37. We have a Korg Kronos, and I have synths in the closet that we do for the source sound. And the source sound goes through all this stuff, whether it's effects. Okay, it goes, and you can now move effects around. So you guys, well, I was considering signal flow. So now you guys can just swap the positions of the effects just like that. All right, and what else? Yeah, so basically it can do a lot. Let's just hear what this sounds like. Let me turn this down a little bit so our ears don't blow off, but holy moly, guys. I just hit random, and this is what happens. Now, usually when you hit random in synths, it just creates some garbly sound. This is creating a sound, like a sound you would actually use. Now, if you hear a bite in the sound, you can always try the synth tab, hit randomize, or just turn the synth off. That usually has that extra scratchy layer to it. Let's turn the synth back on, but then use the filter, for example. Let's filter that saw a little bit. Like, bruh. So we've added new effects. I've added a new guitar pedal effect that can give you guys the distortion of a guitar pedal. So if you turn this on, let's make sure the mix is at 0 and then crank it. Now this sound doesn't really have a transient to even do much with. So let's switch it over to Big Fuzz. Let's turn this down first. Okay, so now you guys hear that distorted sound. Okay, so now if you guys want to make Kanye sounds, Weekend sounds, sound has a lot of reverb, so you're hearing a lot of that in the signals. Turn the reverb and delay off. All right, so let's hit shuffle one more time and just see the randomness that it creates. Now again, it pulls from all of your sound libraries. So sometimes it pulls from, you know, our sound libraries. Like for example, you can load up Scorch sounds inside this plugin. Scorch is not sold with the BusyWorks Beat Sampler 2. It's just that Scorch from Software Audio, they've included what's called the SFZ, so you guys can import these right inside of our plugin. All you got to do is open up the library tab, hit add, and then choose the folder that has the presets for Scorch. I think they're working on Scorch 2, so you guys definitely want to cop that as soon as possible, because you can load the Scorch source sounds inside the plugin and use the plugin to mangle the sounds and create presets for yourself. Same with Sky Keys. If you guys are Sky Keys fans, you guys can load up Sky Key samples right inside of this plugin as well. So these are not sold with our plugin. I want to be very, you know, clear about that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is let's hit init. So we start from scratch, hit random, and what I'm gonna do is just play for like 20 minutes and just go through random presets that it creates. So here's one with Scorch speaking up. Now again, if you ever hear a scratchier tone, just go to the synth, turn it off. Usually it's the synth layer. And if something ever sounds out of tune, check the one shot area, because some one shots are not, there are multiple tones. So you can load up one shots. You know what I forgot to do? I gotta make sure I remember. You guys asked for a drag and drop experience in the one shot. I need to remember to add that in. So we're definitely gonna remember that. All right, so like I said, guys, there's a new preset library here. You can sort by the actual library itself. Okay, so you can save presets down here in the bottom left. Very simple. So again, I want to show you guys the random feature, because this thing was making presets. I'm like, wow. So again, there's, what was it, 25 nillion presets. Again, that synth layer usually is the bitey layer, so let's add a filter. What you can do also is add layers. So let's say you like this source sound and you want to add some sounds from the factory library. You just click on add a layer, go to where it says samples, and now you can sort by sample and preset so that people don't get confused anymore. And you can find your type of sample. So let's say you want to add a guitar layer. You can click that and it will load that guitar onto a layer. So now we're layering in a guitar, and then we could change the octave. You can also randomize per the layer. So I can hit random and it will pull any random sample into this layer. So I'm going to turn the guitar layer up. Actually hear it. Okay, so one of the one shots is like weirdly tuned. It's not even that it's tuning, it's the sample itself. Or maybe it's an effect actually. Okay, it's the tuning of the delay. Let's pull it back. There we go. I was blaming the one shots. They didn't even do anything. So now we got this really complex sound source. And guys, I'm clicking random just to show you guys, like, this is not me pre-making anything for you guys. We're literally going through, what was it, 25 nillion potential outcomes here. You can even turn on the main panel, alternative panning, one of my favorites. So the panning goes left and right when you hit the notes. I had to move the chair. All right. Like, listen to the sound evolve. Okay, now if we want to go particular, let's add some effects. We can go in, add some delay to this signal. We can even have the delay reverse. We can have it tuned down. We could tune it up. Many different things. I like to add granular layers. So let's go to, and we have a new analog mode, which adds that like dimensionality that you guys hear in my other sounds right inside. So now we've upgraded the sounds just by adding that. Let's add granular. Now we have the smeary layer. So the plugin wasn't meant to sound design, but the types of sounds we get out of this thing are just beastly because of the way I prefer my sound. Just crazy. I'm gonna save this because it sounds dope. Let's save that. And then what it's going to do is ask you where you guys want to save it to. Let's save it to the user presets because I'm not sure where the source sounds came from on this one. And then we're going to type in pad or whatever it is. And then I'll say magic school bus or something like that. So you just name it and then save it as a new preset. And now you could sort it by the library it's in. So in this case, it's in the user presets. And then you guys can look for it. And now it's right here where it says pad magic school bus. And then you guys can also rate the sound itself as well with the 5-star rating, just like that. And you could sort by the rating, the category. Okay, so we're making it easy for you guys to start navigating the 25 nillion sounds you guys can create. So that sounds super dope. So let's hit random. So some of the presets I'm going to send to you guys are literally going to be me clicking on random, hearing what it sounds like, and maybe adjusting some of the effect layers. But these presets are so good, I'm actually shocked. We haven't come across a bad one. I don't want to jinx myself. So again, anytime the pitch sounds different, let's go to the delay layer and make sure we change that tuning, because sometimes it is. Alright, so let's hit init. So it resets everything. Let's hit random. Alright, so again, it could pull from any library. So when it pulls a sound, the main layer A, it will load up the background image for that specific sound library. So this background here is called Halo 3D. So it must be, now if you go to the synth layer, it will tell you where sounds come from. So if you click on where it says Keys Universe, it says from Halo 3D, and that's why the background changes to that specific art. All right, so here's the sounds. Turn on alternative panning. Really unique sounds, guys. And again, 25 nillion, okay? 25 nillion presets. So again, like I said, you guys can import other sound libraries that you guys have, like Scorch, like Sky Keys, for example. Go support those creators who make dope sounds. And you can drag them right in here as long as they offer what's called SFZ. This sounds magical. I'm going to save that. That's a magical preset right there. So we're going to call that Pad Glitter Magic Dust. Okay. And we're going to save it to Helios because that's the source sound there. Save it as new preset. And just like that, it's added to our preset library. So again, in the new search area on the left side, there's a difference between samples. These are source sounds. And then you have what are called presets, which are combinations of source sounds. Okay. So I've separated those in the browser on the left side to make it less confusing. All right. And again, this plugin is free, guys. I'm talking about the free version of this. Gives you 50 source sounds. So let me just show you guys those sounds real quick so you guys can understand. So here's the factory library, and let's load up some presets from here. So these aren't your cookie cutter sounds here. Sounds have that extra bit of dimensionality because you know, these are sounds that I've sound designed. And make sure you guys get the best combination of the effects. So just super dreamy sounds here. All right, so let's move to some guitar pads, for example. Okay, so you guys can get straight to the melodies just like that. Now we're working on legato here. Got to make sure this. Okay, so legato now works as expected. It doesn't drop the samples like it used to. And it works with your pitch wheel, so you guys don't have to set the pitch wheel like other plugins. All right, so just like that. Now these are the free presets. I'm just going through presets here for you guys. We even have more synth type stuff, but the synths don't feel very digital. They feel analog because of the new analog strip we've added in here. You guys get that analog depth to it, so it's not this weird cheesy synth sound. Even the source sounds weren't cheesy to begin with. See how it's a synth, but it feels real. It feels like the analog weight to it. All right, so I wanted to make sure you guys get really good source sounds. Now that's the free sounds, okay? So we just went through a couple presets just to show you guys. So that's the free library, okay? So with the paid libraries, Halo 3D, Helios. So we now in the browser, you guys can now close the, you can collapse the libraries so that you can see the other stuff. So Halo 3D, for example, okay, has 133 source sounds in there. And then we have, let me go back. Where is it here? Okay, let's go to all, where did my sounds go? All right, I gotta figure out why this is locked to Halo. Must have clicked on something. So let me initialize. But basically, Halo has 130 sounds. Hercules has not, this might be a glitch actually that I gotta fix before you guys get it. Oh, because I clicked on Helios, duh. Okay, so Helios has 103 sounds. Let's see the next library. Hercules has 263 sounds. And then Hypnos has 125 source sounds. Those are just source sounds. Again, you can combine these in any fashion to create your own presets. So that's, you know, how many sounds you guys are getting is like 120, or excuse me, not 120. You guys are getting 600, okay, source sounds to work with when you get the paid sampler 2 bundle. So let's hit random and see where it could take us. All right, so now let's play some more sounds, guys. And listen to this unique sound here. Let's add that alternative panning. Let's turn it up a little bit. You can also add vibrato straight on your sound, just like that. Let's see what source sounds we have under the synth. This is from Halo 3D, the source sound. Okay, so the one-shot area is creating that like watery sound. And on the one-shot area, I didn't really talk about this as much. You guys can loop one-shots and mangle them to create unique things that normally one-shots wouldn't do. So let's do forward, backward looping on a one-shot. And then we're gonna, where's the, let's tune this up 12 semitones. And we can adjust the level so it stands out more. Let's give it some release, give it an attack. We can even have the one shot set to round robin. So you guys are familiar with multi-keys. So it cycles between the one shot layers, okay, and then it plays in a specific sequence, or you could do random. Now the other sound in here is a sound effect, so it's not gonna, you're not gonna hear the transient as much. You guys can hear the change in the sound as I hit the keys. So it goes dun dun dun. Because it's playing that randomized sound. Just like that. Now we have this like super unique Travis Scott type sound. I'm gonna save this. I'm telling you guys, this new algorithm we put together is crazy. It creates the greatest presets. We're gonna call this Travis Scott 2. I don't even know if I have Travis Scott 1, but let's save that. That one came out nuts. Now again, the source sound here is from Halo 3D. And also the plugin comes with one shots, if I didn't mention that. I think it's like 150 one shots. Alright, so let's hit random one more time. So I'm just holding the keys to see what it does. This one I'd probably do a melody to. Now on the front panel, let's say the bass, we can click on the synth layer here and pull up that bass sample an octave or two. Something is, let's go to the effects tab, pull in this range here on the delay. Also, you guys, for more advanced users, you guys can go to the settings here and change out what's called the loop points and go through different ways that we create looping. So like I said, guys, these sounds are just so different because of the way I went about this plugin. Let's add some chorus. Okay, so I think the delay or reverb is feeding back. So let's do a minor chord. Actually, it's a one shot. That's what it is. Let's go to the one shot layer. We can just turn the whole layer off. It's the synth layer. It could be the one shot, or it could be the sample itself. Okay, I know what's happening. So the looping, what's happening is the loop on that sample is causing pitch drift. So we have to go to the settings and just make sure it's looping in the proper area. So that way we can quickly go. I'm not trying to make this a sound design tutorial, but that's how you guys can adjust that. All right, so that one's a little bit of a cloudy sound. I probably wouldn't use that for chords. I'd do like a super low bass and then like super high notes to contrast. Let's do alternative panning just to spread it out. See how we're getting these unique sounds, guys? I'm gonna just click random. We got a couple minutes left on this video. I don't want to make this video super long. So let's turn off this layer and see what it sounds like. So even without the scorch sounds, it has a unique sound. Okay, so the sound goes deeper than just the synth layer, or excuse me, not the synth layer, but the source sound. I actually like that sound. That's pretty dope. Let's turn this back on. I'm going to save this as a user preset because I know everybody doesn't have scorch. So we're going to call this like keys dramatic. It's just coming up with random names. Again, there's 25 nonillion presets we can create here. So let's randomize again. All right, so here's another dope sound. I just hit random. Like I said, guys, if you hear a buzzy sound, it's most likely the synth. So we can either add a cutoff or just turn off the synth if you don't want that extra buzzier layer. And then again, we can go to the front panel and liven the sound up by turning it up, add that alternative panning, for example. guys can only imagine the sounds you guys can create. So again, I don't want to make this video an hour long. We're already at 25 minutes. So I'm gonna end this video here, guys. I want to thank you guys. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/sample. This preset right here is crazy. Now we gotta save this before we get out of here. We gotta save this one. We'll go to busyworksbeats.com/sample and download the download manager, which looks like this for Windows and Mac. Make sure you guys go to where it says plugins, download the BusyWorks Beats Sampler 2, and then go to where it says libraries for the plugins, and then we're gonna go to where it says factory library. That will be free for everyone. So again, go to busyworksbeats.com to grab that. Let me save this as keys, Lush Garden, save that as user preset. And in the next update, which you guys will see in the download manager, I'll make sure you guys get presets I'm saving. Just insane sounds, you guys. All right, so have fun with the 25 nillion presets, guys. Peace out.